Now we are going to discuss parameter test script. What is the parameter test script? Suppose here I have the test script. This is my test script. The script is created here to check calculation for fifth order number record in flight reservation application. This is a script I created to check fifth order number record in flight reservation application like this. This total text content is correct or not with respect to tickets and price for this flight reservation application. This is my AUT here. Application under test AUT. Okay. Tickets, price, total like this. Now whenever I run this script, it's going to verify the fifth order number record, opens the fifth order number record and going to check the flight reservation. Later my requirement is like this. I have the different order numbers. Order numbers are this. So now newly I created suppose 45, 49, so 30th. Like this different order numbers are there. This order numbers record also I want to check the calculation is correct or not. Whenever I have the fixed value here, I can't pass the values to the script. Now what I should do here, I should use some variable. Instead of 5 here, I want to use here one variable like this. X I want to use. X order number. So our n order number I can use. N order number I want to use. So one variable I want to use. For this variable I want to pass the values to the execution time. This values I want to pass to execution time. This order numbers I want to pass it to the script at the time of execution, so that my QTP is going to open the corresponding order number record to verify calculation is correct or not. So execution time, whenever we are going to pass our test data, in order to validate the application, this concept we are going to call parameterization. This parameterization, we have the 3 options in QTP. One is using random number. Second one is using environment variables. Third one is from data table. The different possibilities. Okay. So how we can go for that random number using environment variables from data table. Parameter test script. Passing the test data to the script during runtime is called parameter test script. So parameter test script, what is the advantage of this one? This concept will increase reusability of the script. Same validation for different values you can use it. Okay. Let's increase the reusability of the script. There are 3 types of parameter options in QTP: random number, environment variables, and data table. Data table is .xls. Okay. So random number, environment variables from data table. So random number, when we are going to use. Using this option, we can parameter test script with a number in a specified range. That means whenever you want to parameter test script with a numeric value, not with string. With a numeric value when you want to parameterize, within the specified range, we can go for random number option. What is the syntax here? Random number from comma to value. Suppose if we give random number 1 comma 10, what will happen? QTP will select any one of the number in that given range to parameterize your test script. Now, suppose I want to create the script to open a record in flight reservation application with any one of the order number from 1 to 10 range. So how we can create it? First I am going to create the basis script to open a record. The first thing which I need to do. Flight reservation Mercury, here it is. First time go for recording, activate flight reservation window, file menu, open order, activate open order sub window, order number checkbox on, enter value 5, click on OK. Stop record. Like this. Now 1 to 10 order number. Now this 5 you delete right here, random number 1 comma 10. This time I am going to use here synchronous pointer. Wait 3 seconds of time. Just I want to see that which order number it is taken before going to click on OK. If I run my script here, what is the order number is taken? 1. Now if I run again, that is entirely QTP choice. Any one number QTP takes. Now it is taken 3. If I run again, QTP will select any one of the number in given range to parameter test script 7 it is. This is the random number option. Now, how to declare the variable? A dim cname. For cname equal to Smith I given. Then if I go for message box of cname, if I run, value will be displayed or not? Smith is given. Now if I go for the insert menu, call to new action, action 2. If I go for message box of cname, if I run it is, action 1 going to execute successfully. Action to execution time, it won't execute. It give the null value going to let us see. So because lifetime of the variable is within the action or within the function only, it won't carry the value for the other action scripts. Now, some values which I want to reuse into the different actions in different tests, like application path, shared repository file path, or user ID password values. So how we can use the data into different actions? How we can reuse the test data into different actions in different tests. For the purpose, like global variables, here in QTP, we have the environment variables concept. We have the environment variable concept. Using environment variables, we can parameter test script in different actions or test scripts with the same data, same application path, same user ID, same password values. So how to read the values from the environment variables means local variable equal to environment dot value of environment variable name. Local variable equal to environment dot value of environment variable name. There are two types of environment variables. Built-in environment variables. Second one is user-defined environment variables. Built-in environment variables. Second one is user-defined environment variables. Now, what is the built-in environment variables? Let us see that. To find path of test script. Where I saved my test script, I want to know that. I go for message box of environment dot value of test dir. Same way to find name of the test script. Then message box of environment dot value of environment variables are case sensitive to find path of test result. Again message box of environment dot value of result dir. Result dir we have to go. Now here I am not assigning the values, just I am going to save my test. As a test 3 I am going to save on my desktop. Now see that if I run my script here, if I run my script here, ask me where do you want to save. I selected a particular folder to save the result. I am not assigned the values for these variables. Now I am getting the values or not. What is that output I got here? First one, test dir. Path of the test script I got or not here. Same way, name of the test script. What is the name I given here? Test 3. I got or not? Result dir. What is that? Where result is saved, the path I am getting. I am not assigned the values. So these are the QTP defined environment variables. Where those are available, file, settings. If I go to environment, what is showing here? Variable type built in. Okay. Here we have the, see, result dir folder path where the current test results are saved. That valid going to returns. So these are the built-in environment variables we are going to call. There are predefined, these are predefined variables provided in QTP to return specific value during runtime. Built-in variables we can view in tester settings, navigation file menu QTP, select settings, select environment. I given some examples here. What are the built-in environment variables are available? Most commonly used asked questions in interview point on environment variables means how do you know that which OS your script is executing? We have to go for the environment dot value of OS. Which action currently executing? Action name. Okay. Product dir where QTP installed. How we can know that? Product dir. Test dir. Result dir. Like this. These things are there. Okay. So next one is user-defined environment variables. So these are two types of user-defined environment variables. One is internal environment variables. Second one is external environment variables. Let us see. Creating internal environment variable. The syntax like this. Environment dot value of my application equal to C drive Windows system 32 calc.exe like this again. Now to read value from environment variable to local variable. So I can go for here, no? X equal to syntax is environment dot value of my case sensitivities, my application, and message box of X. We got the value. Now same value I want to get into another action. Insert menu, call to new action, action 2. Insert menu, call to new action, action. Now see, if I run it is 3 actions I will get the value or not. That is important. How we can reuse the data. Same data in action 2 you can use, same data you can use in action 3. So reusing test data into different actions. So if I am not interested to create like this internal environment variables, I am not created. If I run, will I get the value? See that you want to get the value. Okay. Now if I go for file menu, settings, environment, variable type is there, list box is there here. What are the two types here? So built-in, user defined. So I want to create the internal environment variable. My application, C drive, Windows, system32, calc.exe. This is the internal environment variable. Now action 1 I will get the value. Action 2 I will get the value. Action 3 also I got the value. Now same thing what I will do here. I will go for the new test. I saved this one as test 3 now. I go for the new test. I'm going to write the same thing. If I run, will I get the value or not? So because you want to get the value, this is new test 1. That is test 3. So where you created in the test only we can use internal environment variables, not for the other tests. So I want to use the environment variables into different tests in different actions. How we can go for that? So we have to go for the external environment variables. Using external environment variables, we can pass the values from one. We can use the values any action test, any action script we can use. How we can do that? Just see my here. Parameter test script. What is the meaning of parameter script? Passing the data to the script during runtime. So we have here parameter types. What are the parameter types are? The first one is random number. So when we can prefer random number, whenever you want to parameter script the numeric value. So to parameterize test script with a numeric value within the specified range. When you don't know exact number, in that case you can go for the random number. What is the syntax for that? Random number of range you can specify. Okay. So what is the example I given like this? Random number 1 comma 10 you can give. Do execution type any one of the number in that given range it will take to parameters your test script. The second one, what is that? Environment variables. What is the purpose of environment variables? To reuse test data into different action scripts. within a test or tests. Different tests also we can go for that. Here when you go for environment variables, there are, so first what is the syntax to read the value from the environment variable? Syntax to read data from environment variables. So local variable equal to environment dot value of environment variable name we have to use. The syntax to read the environment variables, environment dot value of environment variable name we have to use. Then there are two types of environment variables. So one is built-in environment variables. So the system QTP different variables here. Okay, to return specific value. Second one is our own values I want to reuse. You have to go for the user defined environment variables. So our own values. When I go for user defined environment variables, again two types we have. One is internal environment variables. Second one is external environment variables. Internal environment variables, external environment variables. When I go for internal environment variable, limitation within the test, any action script. In which any action script. So in which test you created in the test only one test. How to create? How do you create? Possibility. Dynamically we can create through script. Environment dot value of environment variable data we can assign, or from tester settings also we can define. From tester settings also we can define environment variables. What is the disadvantage here? Not possible to use in another test. Only one test only. This one to overcome, they given external normal variables like global variables it is. To reuse test data into different action scripts in different tests. We can go for external environment variables. There's a global variables concept they given for the external environment variables. Here, where do you maintain these external environment variables? External environment variables we can maintain. External environment variables we can maintain in XML file we are going to maintain. How do you associate external environment variables? One is from tester settings we can associate, or dynamically using script also we can associate. So what is the syntax here? Environment dot load from file path of external environment variable file, like this you have to use. Now I will take one example. With that example I will want to show this all things. Create script to perform login operation, validation using test data from external environment variables and a shared object repository for required test objects. See, this is the big example here to how to work on shared repository files, how to work on external normative variables. Whenever we are going to work on this one, first we have to create the resource files, shared repository file and external normative variable. This is the two things first you have to create. First, I will create the shared repository file. I know the transaction flow. First, I need login window objects information and flight reservation window objects information. How do you create shared repository file? Resources, object repository manager. Go to object repository manager, add the login window objects information, default object types. Then again, flight reservation window also I am going to add. Only flight reservation, no child objects. Click on OK, like this. Now save this file. So 10 a.m. October 16 repositories, login.tsr. I'm going to take. Okay. Now I need external normative variable file with application path. See how to create external normative variable file. We know that internal normative variables how to create. Go to the insert menu, settings, environment, user defined, click on add button, AAP underscore path, extension, click on OK. Again, UID, MindQ, password, Mercury. First to create the internal environment variables. There is one button here, what is that? Export. So click to export the user defined environment variables to an XML file. It is simple navigation. So I go for C drive, 10 a.m. October. So new folder I'm going to create. Environment. In this environment folder, I'm going to save the login data.xml. Okay. Now what are the things first I created here? Procedure. Step 1. Created shared object repository file with required test objects. Step 2. Created external environment variable file. Step 3. Create main script for login validation by associating required resource files. So how we can go for that? I'm going to take the new test here. Associate shared object repository file. What is the script for that? Repositories collection dot add C drive repositories. What is the name I given for this? Shared repository file. Login.tsr I given. I'm not sure which way I given here. Open as login.tsr showing that. Login.tsr. Login.tsr. Then associate extra environment variable file. So environment variable file you want to associate, what is the script you want for that? environment dot load from file C drive 10 a.m. October 16 environment login data dot xml. Now to the data into local variables. Double dots. Login data.xml. Okay. Now a underscore path environment dot value of ap underscore path user id environment dot value of uid password equal to environment dot value I'm not remember the values variable names here. You can open that file C drive. So 10 a.m. October environment login data XML file. AP underscore path is one variable. Password user ID. Password. Then open login window. So what I need to say if not dialog of login dot exist in 2 seconds. When login will not available, then it has to open. What is the script for that? Invoke application, path of the application. So where it is a underscore path. Now to perform login operation. So dialog of login dot activate. Dialog of login dot win edit of agent name dot set. What is the value here? User ID. Same way. Dialog of login dot win edit of password dot set. Password. The local variable. This variables I need to use. Then dialog of login dot win button of OK dot click. Then to check flight reservation window availability. If window of flight reservation dot exist maximum 10 seconds of time. Then reported dot report event MIC pass login validation successful login operation else reported dot report event MIC fail login validation unsuccessful login operation. So this is the way how we can go for the, see there is no fixed values in my script. There is no hard code values in my script. Execution time I am passing the user ID, password, shared repository file for this all the things. Okay. Now, okay. If I go for the result window, I'm going to get the final status. So view menu, expand all, login validation, successful login operation. So this is the dynamically how we associate shared repository file, how we are going to create the extra environment variable file, and how do you associate the share extra environment variable files. So this is the script is common login operation. This is already we discussed test object methods. Only here working with external environment variables. So there is a new concept here. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about the how to work on the data-driven framework using data table, how to parameter tests.